This right here is the perfect comment for me to respond to, y'all, because I used to brag on this, y'all. I used to brag on never ever being physically abusive. Because being diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, I used to say, hey, look, I've never been physically abusive, and that makes me better than most narcissistic people. But the more and more you learn about narcissistic abuse, the more and more you learn about narcissism in general, or the personality disorder in general, you realize that the emotional abuse is sometimes way worse than physical abuse. So sometimes coming to terms with being emotionally, neglectful and a gaslighter, a manipulator, and a liar, and things like that, and sharing that with the world, it is tough, y'all. It makes me feel uncomfortable to be vulnerable like that. You know what? Nobody wants to admit that they've been a bad person in their lives and things like that. And they treated people terribly because they didn't know how to deal with their own emotions and process their own feelings and things like that. So they took their anger out on the people closest to them. In the last almost 5 years of therapy and being on social media, like talking about my, being a self-aware narcissist for the last, 2 years, that's what I've been trying to make amends for. I've literally been trying to put a spotlight on emotional abuse because, like myself, for a very, very long time, like most narcissists, are emotional terrorists. They terrorize your emotions by gaslighting you, by making you feel crazy, by making you feel like you are the problem, by devaluing you, making you feel worthless and things like that. And yes, I'm openly admitting that I am guilty of that. And that's hard to say. I know people think narcissists don't have feelings. I don't want to say that online in front of possibly millions of people. But if I don't say that, then that's me being disingenuous to my platform. That's me making it seem like I'm better than other people because I never put my hands on a woman. But I used to always say that, y'all. That's in my darker days. I used to say that. I used to say, I don't have to hit you to hurt you, because I knew my mind, the way my mind worked, that I can manipulate people and I can hurt them with my words. I used to challenge the saying, like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Give me some words. Let me have those words and let me see what I can do with them. I promise you I can hurt people with those words. Because I've been clinically diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. I tell people to this day, I work to fight through the urge to say the meanest, the most hurtful things to people. Because I am 100% still a narcissist, even throughout the almost 5 years of therapy. My entire platform is dedicated to making amends for that and showing and shining the spotlight on it. I want people to come out of the darkness and say, hey, look, you are not a good person. You have not treated your wife, your husband, or your kids good. If you don't stop treating your wife, husband, or kids terribly, you are either starting a generational curse or continuing one. My goal is to stop generational curses in my family because there's been, some unaliving in my family, some parental abandonment in my family, and it stops with me. You can take this video, chop it up, and make me seem like a bad person, but I know what I'm doing. I know what my goal is. So in conclusion, no, I've never been physically abusive, but that's not saying much. It's not necessarily a good thing.